Aloha guys, and welcome to today's recovery session, where if you have any issues with the ankles, the knees, or the hips, then today we're gonna learn some tools to help us rehabilitate, strengthen, and mobilize those different joints. Before we get started, it would be helpful to have certain equipment around. So if you've got an elevated surface, we're gonna be performing single leg eccentric squats, a wall where we can perform our ankle stretch, a step or an edge where we can perform eccentric calf raises, some socks so that your heels can slide on a smooth surface, and lastly, a doorway. Let's get started, guys. We're gonna take care of the knees first, and we're gonna start by sitting into the bottom of the squat. 2, 1, and we'll go down. I have to take it slow because I rolled my ankle yesterday. So this is a bit challenging for me, but I think it's good for the ankle to mobilize a little bit. We're gonna spend about a minute in most of these positions. But feel free to, maybe after this session is done, figure out the exercises. These are really rehab tools, ones that are directed at your particular issue, and you can spend more or less time in these positions as you see fit. But this is one position that I spend a lot of time in because I think it's so good for the ankles, the knees, and the hips. This is one I probably spend at least 30 minutes a day in this position. All right, and we're gonna fold forward or straighten out your legs and fold forward into ragdoll. Grab your elbows, shake out your head. You can swing from side to side, whatever feels good here. We're gonna spend a total of a minute in this position. Lengthening through the hamstrings, into the glutes. Also getting a stretch through the spine. From the tailbone all the way through your upper back, through the neck, through to the back of your head. And lengthen through the spine. And we'll bring it on up and we'll push the hips forward and send them around. Choose any direction you like. We're doing our old man surfers. This is the triple combo, the squat, ragdoll, old man surfer. And we'll reverse it. That's kind of it is part of my daily routine to knock out those 3 as a triplet, and I just cycle through them. It feels really good. All right, shake it out. Now we're gonna get into some Seiza squats. And I'll do my best with my banged up ankle. We'll start in the squat. Use your hands for support if you need it. We're gonna push the knees forward and control right here. Use your hands for support if you need it. Gently touch your knees down, squeeze your glutes, and then allow your feet to fold flat. And you'll sit down on top of them. Okay, ankle's doing all right. We'll sit up. We'll curl the toes under and control it back into the bottom of the squat. And repeat at whatever pace feels good to you. Control is what we're going for. Ooh, yeah. Good toe stretch in here too. Yee-hoo! Okay, and up next, we've got eccentric single leg squats. That means eccentric is a slow lowering. You're gonna do left leg first, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, down to a target and up with both legs and reset. 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3. The So we're strengthening the descent here. And the quads, the knees, the ligaments within. When you slow it down and control this movement in the eccentric direction, it's a great way to strengthen and stabilize the joint. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I actually learned this from my old boss, who is a physical therapist. I was suffering from jumper's knee and patellar tendonitis. This was one of the exercises that he prescribed for my knee issues. And we'll switch to the other side. You can shake it out. He said it may hurt at first, but over time, you're strengthening the knee and the musculature around it to support it properly. And if this feels good for you, you can go down, tap, and then come right back up. So you can do the eccentric and the concentric portions, only if you're really in pain or is that knee and the muscles surrounding it, if it's weak, then you want to make that concentric motion with both legs. So up to you. Or you can also lower the target or do it without a target and go all the way down to the bottom of your single leg squat. The lower the target you can hit, the more we're strengthening throughout the entire range of the joint. All right, split squat. Now if you can do this on the ground, great. I'm gonna use an elevated surface to make it a little easier. So here's our elevated split squat. And I'm trying to drive the knee as far over the toes as I can. I'm using my hand for support. You don't need to. Up to you if you want. And then if you can push it forward enough that this back heel begins to pick up off the floor or off the surface, then we're getting deeper in that ankle stretch as well. Not bad. I rolled my ankle. It's really about 2 days ago. And it's coming along. And if you want to drive back and kind of pulse into it or knock out reps into it, that's also good. Or you can just stay down there under tension. Up to you. This is a great stretch for the ankle, knee, and this hip flexor right here as well. Pulse into it, you can knock out full reps. Up to you how you want to do it. Okay, and we'll switch. We'll do the other leg. If you want more of a challenge, you can do it on the ground. Since this ankle is all good to go. Do it down here. Allowing that back heel to pick up. Knees driving over that middle toe. Pulse into it, or knock out full reps. Full rep would look like this. And then the pulse, you would just stay down lower, rock into it, rock back. Rock in, rock back. Or you can just hold. And I encourage you to experiment with all three of those. Static hold, the pulse, and the full reps. And see what works for you. And now we got the eccentric glute bridges, and this is why I have the socks on. So here's how you do it with 2 legs. You drive up, squeeze your glutes, and then you extend your legs, allow your feet to slide, and then hold. Legs are straight, hips still off the ground. Then you let your booty down, reset, up, straighten the legs, then drop and reset. You can also do 1 leg at a time. This makes it much more challenging. Single leg, eccentric glute bridges. You're doing 1 at a time, maybe do 5 per leg, and then switch. I really like the single leg version of this. I'm gonna switch sides. This is 5. I'm on this side. Gotta round out my 5. Make sure things are even. Ha! Okay, next, we're gonna do ankle. We're getting into the ankle series. And we're gonna take it over to the wall, form a steep angle with the left foot. We're gonna pull our hips in. And from here, as you're reaching your hips toward the wall or pillar, you should feel that stretch high up in the calf, which connects down into the Achilles, which affects ankle mobility. If you have tight calves, you're likely gonna have immobile ankles. And now we're gonna lower down and drive in. Try to push your knee in to the wall or into the pillar. You can shift your knee from side to side, and you should feel the tension start to grow and shift down into the Achilles and low in the calf. Try to put as much tension as you can handle. You can shift your knee from side to side. And gently release the tension. Kind of roll out your ankles. This is my rolled ankle. And we'll go steep angle with the other foot. We'll drive the hips in, doing that stretch again up into the calves. So this, I could probably hold a minute in this position and then a minute where you're driving the knee in. That might be the sweet spot for me. Every person's gonna be different. But this is one of the best ankle mobilizing stretches that I know of. And we'll drop down low. We'll drive the knee in. So we're pushing through your back leg. It's nice if you have something to pull your knee into the wall with as well. It's nice that I have a pillar here that I can reach around and pull in. Keep driving that knee in. Allow that tension to grow in the Achilles. And I want it to be intense. So pull, drive that knee in, creating change. And gently release and relax. Okay, now we're gonna find a step. We're gonna go with the left ankle first. So we'll go up, we'll lower down, eccentric, 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000 through the floor. Come up on both feet and repeat. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000 through the floor. And if you're feeling good, you can drive up on that one leg and just stay on this one foot the entire time. And continue. I'm actually surprised I can do this. This is my ankle that just got whooped about 2 days ago. And with this linear motion, this kind of up and down is fine. It's the lateral motion that has been challenging. All right, and we'll roll out that ankle. Whew. Let's do the other side next. We'll rise up and control the descent. 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000. You can also slow that down further if you like. Come up and repeat. Control. That's creating stability in the joint. Building up the strength of the ligaments, the tendons, the musculature that supports the ankle. Eccentric loading is really healthy to the joints. eccentric motion is also called the negative. You hear people talk about negative pull-ups, like you jump up, get your chin over, and then you slowly lower. This is a negative. That's the eccentric motion of the pull-up. We're doing the eccentric motion of a calf raise. All right, and you know what? We're going back to the squat hold, guys. In 2, 1. We're gonna change things up just a little bit. Oh, way easier, way smoother to get down this time. So, in the squat, we're stretching the ankles, the knees, and the hips. So we did the knees earlier. We're doing the squat again. This time we're gonna put a little more emphasis on stretching the ankles. So I like to lean forward and allow the heels to barely lift up off the floor. Use your hands for support. You can shift your body from side to side. And feel where you're getting that stretch in the ankles. So I feel it, the lower I keep my heels to the floor, the more my body is reaching forward, the more I feel tension in the ankles. The good kind, and that's creating the stretch, creating the change that we're looking for, the increase in mobility that we're looking for. All right, and we can stand it on up. And what do you know? We're doing the split squat again as well. You can use the elevated surface or not. I'm gonna try and do it on the ground. Maybe use my hands for support. Driving the knee over that middle toe. Again, allowing the heel to lift up slightly. This one allows you to put your body weight into stretching out the Achilles and the ankle, as well as the knee, as well as the hip flexor. A lot going on here. And again, you can pulse into it, staying low, moving in and out of the stretch. You know what, that just feels pretty good. Stay right there. Or you can do the full reps where you drive it all the way back and stand it up. Or just hang out here and treat it like a passive stretch. Woo. Oh, this is a lot for my injured ankle. Oh, okay. Woo, that's pretty intense. Other side. A good ankle. Here we go. This one can handle it. So when you pick up the heel off the floor just slightly, it really shifts a lot more of the load into the ankle joint. If you keep that heel down, you'll feel it more. More of the load is in the knee and in the hip flexor. So if you're looking for more of an ankle stretch, which we're kind of trying to do right now, then pick up that back heel just slightly. You can move your knee from side to side. Just feel what feels good in this stretch. Elevated pigeon, guys, up next. So we finished the ankle series, we're getting on to the hip series, and we're gonna go left leg perpendicular to the direction you're facing. Right leg steps back, and we're gonna settle into this stretch. So for now, we don't want this knee, we don't want the foot position like this, or the leg. We want the leg perpendicular to the direction we're facing. And we're gonna lower down. You can even sit up tall. You can lower down, up to you how you wanna do this elevated pigeon. I'm gonna bring it down, put this pigeon to bed, and relax into this stretch. And make your way up. Ooh, you can shake out the left leg real quick. And we'll bring the right leg up. And right now we're really trying to get the right position of this front leg, like I said, perpendicular. And that's why I'm using the elevated surface. If I do it on the ground, usually my knee or my heel comes into the body more. I'm not getting as intense of a stretch in the knee and the glute. So for this particular stretch, we're gonna try and keep the front shin perpendicular to where we're facing. And lower into the stretch. All right, and bring it up. This is one of my favorite stretches. Left leg forward, right leg back, the foundational hip stretch. We go broad stance here, both hands up overhead. We'll lean out to the side, the left side, and we'll pull back into extension. And let's just alternate between those two positions, side, extension, side, and extension. You should start to feel that tension grow in the right hip flexor. We'll go for about 10 more seconds here. And now, let's lean out to the side and into extension. We'll rise up onto the back toes and lower down. So all the motion coming from the back ankle. And you can move your arms around to feel where you get the most tension in the right hip flexor. Rising up and down the right ankle. Ooh, hunting around for the most tension. Woo, and we'll switch sides. Now, reaching to the right side and pulling back into extension. Side, extension. All right, guys, and now we'll start to rise up onto the back toes and lower down. And we're hunting around for where we can position ourselves to get the most intense hip flexor stretch. All right, guys, and the last stretch we're gonna do is for the chest. We're gonna need to find a doorway for this one. Let's go find a doorway. Okay, start by pressing your forearms flush against the doorway frame, and then just gently fall forward, passively lean into the stretch, allowing the chest to open, the shoulders to open up. We're gonna be here for 2 minutes. What I like to do is alternate between passively leaning deeper into the stretch and then also just moving the head from side to side, rolling it from side to side, getting some neck cracks out of it, and then I'll return this passive lean. And in this passive lean, I generally feel resistance from my body to go deeper into the stretch. So, when you feel that resistance, try to relax into it. Tell your body it's okay. You're gonna go deeper into the stretch. Really make this your own. Find the tension and try to work it out. one of my favorite stretches to open up the chest. All the pressing that we do on a daily basis with burpees and push-ups. This is my favorite chest opening stretch, and I do it every single day without fail.
Upgrade complete.
Woo-hoo-hoo. Guys, that is it for today's recovery session. And what I want you to do is, whatever the part of your body that has issues, go back to the ankle series, if that's what it is, and perform that series multiple times. Figure out what are the specific exercises that are creating the most change and rehabilitating that joint, strengthening it, and creating change for you in a positive way. And do those more often. Spend more time in those positions, doing those exercises to help heal your body. Patrons, subs, thank you guys so much for your continued support. And guys, I've got an excellent workout coming up tomorrow. I hope to see you guys there. Aloha.